Ever cross paths with an HOA, Karen who thinks she owns the whole block? Meet Sienna Ren, Sunny Creek's self-crowned dictator, marching like she patented the sun. I'm Canyon Thorne, 34, freelance landscape architect, fresh off a move to a cozy blue house in Lakeview Estates. Picture me, towel slung over the shoulder, flip-flops, slapping ready to dive into the community pool. A shimmering oasis steps from my porch. My landlord, Rowan Hale, swore I had pool rights a perk from his days as a development investor. Then Sienna's 911 call hit me like a rogue sprinkler, claiming I was trespassing. What she didn't know, I had signed documents, a legal ace and a secret from a decade ago, that'd torch her throne. I'd faced corporate egos in design pitches, but Sienna's gall was Olympic grade. It was a scorcher last summer, the kind that melts asphalt. I'd unpacked my Lakeview house. Think cedar shutters, wildflower beds, eager for a dip. My rental agreement was clear. Full pool access. No Sunny Creek HOA membership needed. Rowan called it a special covenant from 2013, tied to his investment in the Sunny Creek project. I grabbed my towel, hit the pool, and found a lounge chair under a striped umbrella. Kids splashed, sunbathers dozed. A suburban postcard. I was about to dive when a shadow loomed. Sienna Ren, early 50s stout, with a blonde bob sharp enough to cut glass, stood over me. Her pastel tennis skirt screamed country club. Her designer sunglasses perched like a crown, arms crossed, lips pursed. She radiated rule-book wrath. "Excuse me," she snapped, voice loud enough to hush the kids. "I'm Sienna Ren, Sunny Creek, HOA president." "Where do you live?" I smiled, offering a hand. Canyon Thorne just moved to Pinterest Lane. Lakeview Estates. Her eyes narrowed to slits. Lakeview. "Then you're not Sunny Creek. This pool's for homeowners only. Leave now," I blinked, keeping cool. "Actually, my rental agreement grants pool access. It's a legal covenant with the HOA. Sienna's scowl deepened, her manicured nails, tapping her phone. "I've run this HOA for 7 years. No such covenant exists. Leave or I call security." I tried explaining, but she was already dialing. "Hello, yes. We have a trespasser at the Sunny Creek pool refusing to leave." She hung up, smirking. "They're coming." Go humiliated with sunbathers staring, I grabbed my towel and left. Back home, I dug out the agreement, black and white, signed by Rowan and the HOA, dated June 15th, 2013. Tenant gets full pool access. No ifs, ands, or Karens. Sienna's stunt wasn't just rude, it was wrong. I called Rowan 60s, a grizzled ex-developer with a voice like gravel. She did what he growled. That covenant's ironclad. I was an original investor, pool rights. Came with my Lakeview lot. Sienna knows it. She's just flexing. Rowan emailed the original documents complete with signatures including Sienna's from a 2020 reaffirmation. This wasn't a handshake deal. It was county recorded, legally binding. "She's been dodging this covenant forever," Rowan said, "obsessed with keeping outsiders out, especially your house." "Why mine?" He didn't know, but a hint of a 10-year-old secret flickered in his tone. I rang Lara Quinn, my college pal, turned real estate lawyer. "Sienna's out of line," Lyra said, reviewing the files. "That's a covenant, running with the land untouchable. Write a letter. Carry the docs and go back." She tries again. "We've got her." I typed the letter, my pulse racing. This wasn't just about a swim. It was about a bully who thought she owned Lakeview's soul. That night I met Janet Patel, my neighbor. A nurse with a knack for gossip. "Sienna's a menace," she said, rolling her eyes. "Find my roses for being non-compliant. And I'm not even in her HOA. She's got a history left. Another HOA across town under a cloud. Something about money." Janet's words lit a fuse. Sienna wasn't just a pool cop. She was hiding something. I set up a camera by my porch, discreet, motion triggered, aimed at the street. If Sienna wanted war, I'd be ready. By dusk, my phone pinged footage of her car, a sleek SUV slowing by my house. Her bob gleamed under a streetlight, eyes scanning my property. Smirking, I sent the clip to Lyra. "She's staking you out," she texted. "Pool's open tomorrow. Bring the dogs." I stood on my porch pool, pass in hand, the covenant a shield. Sienna thought she'd shamed me, but I had her signature and a secret she didn't know I'd sniffed out. This was no dip in the pool. It was a dive into her downfall. Y'all, that's the spark. Sienna's HOA empire's wobbling, and I'm just getting started. Smash that. Like, if you faced a Karen like her, drop a comment with your city where you watching from. Let's see how far this ripples. Sienna Ren's poolside tantrum caught on my porch camera as she scoped my house was a gauntlet thrown at Lakeview Estates. Her neon notice claiming I was a trespasser sat crumpled in my blue house, the Sunny Creek pool shimmering a block away. Canyon Thorne doesn't fold. But Sienna, HOA's pastel-clad queen, thought she ruled my rental agreement's pool rights. I stood on my porch, Lakeview's wildflower beds, buzzing my 2013 covenant, and Rowan Hale's documents in hand. Lyra's advice to hit the pool again had me grinning. Sienna's blonde bob wouldn't dodge my legal ace, or her own. 10-year-old secret Janet Patel swung by at noon. Her nurse scrubs swapped for jeans. "Canyon Sienna's doubling down," she said. Sipping iced tea, told neighbors you harassed her at the pool, wants a keycard system to lock outsiders out. Janet's yard with its rebel roses wasn't even Sunny Creek's yet. Sienna's fines stung her too. I snorted, tossing a pebble. She's gatekeeping my lake rights, with my covenant signed by her. Worse. Janet said, eyes sharp. She's got a new board guy, Kevin Vale, backing her. My friend says he's nervous, but loyal Kevin, late 30s. A Sunny Creek newbie sounded like Sienna's pawn. I called Lyra, updating her on Janet's scoop. "She's building a myth," Lyra said, voice crisp. "Claiming control to justify bans. Bring the docs tomorrow. Show her up." I prepped my folder covenant. Rowan's emails, county records, all screaming. My pool access was untouchable. The pool was quiet. The next day, a Tuesday, just a few retirees floating. I spread my towel, set my docs on the lounge chair, and was about to dive when Sienna materialized, her bob, glinting pastel skirt, screaming, "Tennis pro." A nervous guy trailed her. Kevin Vale, lanky and khakis, eyes darting. I thought I was clear. Sienna barked loud enough to startle a sunbather. "This pool's for Sunny Creek only. Leave, or I call the cops." I stayed calm, holding up my covenant. "Ms. Ren, this grants my property pool access. Signed by you, 2020. Care to read?" She waved it off, phone out. "I know my HOA's boundaries. Your house isn't ours." She dialed. "Yes, Sunny Creek. HOA Sienna Ren. We have a trespasser at our pool refusing to leave. Second offense." She hung up, smirking. "Police are coming." "Save yourself the embarrassment." Kevin whispered to her, face pale. "Sienna, maybe check his papers?" She snapped. "Not now." Kevin and strutted to the gate. I sat, docs ready, pool, water lapping. 15 minutes later, a cruiser pulled up. Officer Asher, tall 40s with a weary sigh, approached. "Sir, ID, please." I handed my license. Smiling Canyon Thorne, Lake View Estates. "I've got legal pool rights. Here's the covenant." I showed the 2013 agreement, Rowan's emails, Sienna's signature, Ms. "Ren called you last week, same issue, I'm no trespasser." Asher skimmed the docs. Sienna fuming nearby. "He's disrupting our community." She cut in. "No such covenant exists." Asher raised a hand, reading. After a beat, he handed my papers back. "Mr. Thorne's documents. Check out. This is a civil matter, Ms. Ren, not criminal. He's got pool rights." Sienna's face went tomato red. "Impossible." I'd know. She yanked Asher aside, voice low but sharp. This can't happen again. Not like 10 years ago. Her words hit me like a rogue wave. What failure? Asher returned, unfazed. Ms. Ren, don't call 911 for civil disputes. Consult your lawyer. To me, he added. You're good. Mr. Thorne. Sienna stormed off. Kevin trailing his eyes, meeting mine. Guilty. Curious. I swam. Lapsed defiance in every stroke. But her. 10 years ago echoed, at home. Janet dropped a bomb. Sienna quit an HOA across town. Financial rumors. No proof. Your house. Bugs her. Canyon. Why I checked my camera. Sienna's SUV cruised by again, slower, her bob a silhouette. Lyra texted, dig into her past. She's rattled. I stood by my mailbox. Covenant, in pocket pool. Past gleaming Sienna thought she'd scare me, but Asher's ruling and her slip were cracks in her crown. My house held a secret she feared, and I was diving deeper. Y'all? Sienna's HOA castle's shaking and I'm just warming up. Smash that. Like, if you faced a Karen, drop your city in the comments where you at. Let's see this spark fly. Sienna Ren's red-faced meltdown at the pool, spitting. 10 years ago, like a curse, was a crack in her HOA armor. Canyon Thorne's been in dirtier fights. Her trespassing claim got dunked by Officer Asher. My 2013 pool covenant, gleaming like a lifeguard whistle. I stood in my Lakeview Estates yard, wildflower beds buzzing the Sunny Creek pool, a block away, mocking her reign. That $500 fine letter, embossed with Sienna's signature, hit my mailbox like a bad tan line. My porch camera caught her SUV prowling again, blonde bob glinting. Sienna thought she'd shame me, but I was digging into her 10-year-old secret, and her HOA map was about to sink her. Janet Patel dropped by at dusk, her nurse's ponytail bouncing. Canyon Sienna's escalating, she said, handing me iced tea. That finds her revenge. Unauthorized pool use. She's telling neighbors you're a troublemaker. Janet's roses fined by Sienna, despite being Lakeview's, were her badge of defiance. I laughed, tossing the fine on my table. Fine me, I'm not even in her HOA. Worse, Janet said, eyes sharp. She's pushing boundary changes, claims. Parts of Lakeview are Sunny Creeks. My friend Maria got a landscaping notice for her backyard. Maria's house, like mine, was pure Lakeview. I called Lyra Quinn, my lawyer pal, updating her on the fine. She's got no jurisdiction, Lyra said, voice like steel. That's harassment. Dig into her HOA records county portal. Look for boundary maps. I hit the county website that night. Coffee fueling me, Sunny Creek's bylaws were clear fines, only for member properties, my house, not a dime owed. Then I found their HOA map, current version 2024. It sliced through Lakeview, claiming a chunk of my backyard, and Maria's, the original 2013 map buried in archives, showed Lakeview's line clean, no overlap. Someone Sienna had nudged the boundary, gobbling non-HOA land. My house's corner was now Sunny Creek. I printed both maps, my pulse racing. Rowan Hale, my landlord, called back. Boundary changes, he growled, 10 years ago. Sienna tried that, filed a shady adjustment to grab my lot's edge. I shut it down. Check 2015 records I did. A withdrawn filing. 2015 showed Sienna's name claiming a 15-foot strip of my backyard. Sketchy signatures, no approval. What was she hiding? I rallied Janet and Maria for a backyard powwow. At Janet's, her patio lit by string lights. Maria, 50s, a teacher with a sharp stare, fumed. Sienna says my yard's under her rules, $200. Fine for non-approved shrubs. My land's Lakeview. I spread the maps. See this original boundary. Your yard's free current map. Sienna's stealing it. Bill, an elderly neighbor, chimed in. She towed my car. $300. Called it an eyesore. I'm not Sunny Creek. Lyra emailed. That's fraud territory. File a complaint with the county. Get neighbors to sign. I drafted a letter citing the maps and got Janet, Maria, and Bill on board. But Sienna wasn't done. A new letter hit my door. $750. Fine. Disruptive behavior. Her HOA seal screamed. Intimidation. My camera pinged. Sienna's SUV circling at midnight. Her bob a shadow. I met Kevin Vale, Sienna's nervous bored newbie, at the pool gate next day. He was lanky, 30s khakis, wrinkled eyes, dodging mine. "Canyon, I saw you with Asher," he whispered. "Sienna's obsessed with your house, says it's her biggest failure. I don't agree with her, but she's intense." He glanced around, check HOA. Minutes 2015. "There's stuff she's buried." Before I could press, he bolted Janet's tip about Sienna's old HOA gig, led me to a 2017 article. Sienna quit Oakmont Village HOA after financial irregularities. No charges, but whispers of missing funds. My house tied to her 2015 boundary. Flop was her sore spot. Why I hit the county portal again. Finding 2015 HOA minutes. A vague note. Boundary dispute resolved. Lakeview access reaffirmed. Sienna's signature reluctant. Something big went down, and she was erasing it. I stood by my mailbox. Maps in hand. Pool pass, hot. Sienna's fines were a smokescreen, her boundary. Grab, a power play. Kevin's hint, and those minutes were dynamite, and her 10-year-old failure was surfacing. The HOA meeting was Tuesday. Our trap was set. Y'all, Sienna's HOA empire's cracking, and I'm digging deeper. Smash that like if you've faced a Karen's fine. Drop your city in the comments where you watching from. Let's see this spark blaze. Sienna Ren's $750 fine for disruptive behavior was a jab at my Lakeview soul. But Canyon Thorns faced sharper thorns in landscaping wars. Her boundary grab slicing my backyard into Sunny Creek's map was exposed. 2013 versus 2024 maps didn't lie. My porch camera caught her SUV prowling again. Blonde bob, a menace under streetlights. I stood in my wildflower yard. Pool. Pass hot. The Sunny Creek Community Center. A block away. Kevin Vale's tip about buried 2015. HOA minutes had me itching for Tuesday's meeting. Sienna thought she'd find me into silence, but her 10-year-old secret was surfacing, and her HOA crown was about to crash. Janet Patel crashed my porch at dawn, her nurse's braid tight. Canyon Sienna's, pushing a pool lockdown at the meeting, she said, clutching coffee. Key cards, $200. Homeowner fees, says outsiders, like you are a liability. Janet's roses, still defiant, nodded in her yard. I grinned, spreading my maps, liability. She's stealing our backyards for her HOA empire. The toothy 24 map claimed chunks of Lakeview mine, Maria's bills, the 2013 original. Clean lines, no overlap. I showed Janet the 2015 minutes. Boundary dispute resolved. Lakeview access reaffirmed. Sienna's signature grudging worse. Janet said, eyes wide. Maria got a $300 fine for her shrubs. Sienna claims her yard's Sunny Creek. Now, I called Lyra Quinn, my lawyer pal, my lawyer. "This is fraud," Lyra said, voice sharp. "Bring the maps, minutes, and covenant to the meeting. Non-members can observe bylaws. Section 3. Get neighbors there," I rallied. Janet, Maria, and Bill for a pre-meeting huddle at Maria's patio. String lights glowing, Maria 50s clutched her fine. My shrubs aren't hers to judge. Bill 70s growled. She towed my car. $300. I'm done. I packed my folder maps, minutes covenant, and a 2015 county filing. Sienna's failed attempt to grab Rowan's lot. Lyra texted, "If Sienna pushes mention the 10-year-old boundary flop, she'll crack." The Sunny Creek Community Center was a glitzy cage, fake columns screaming, HOA pride. 30 homeowners fidgeted Sienna at a podium, her bob gleaming pastel blazer, crisp. Kevin Vale, lanky 30s, sat beside her, eyes dodging. "We've had trespassing issues," Sienna chirped, glaring at me in the back. "We propose keycard pool access. $200 per household, to protect our community. I raised my hand. Standing. Canyon Thorne Lakeview Estates, your trespassing claim is about my legal pool rights. 2013 covenant, signed by you. I held up the document, her signature bold. You called police. Twice. Wasted their time. Officer Asher confirmed my access. Sienna's face flushed nails, clawing her gavel. Observers, don't speak. A homeowner, an older woman, turned. Let him talk. We're paying for this. Murmurs grew. Sienna relented, fuming. I laid the maps on her table. Your 2024 HOA map claims Lakeview land, my backyard, Maria's bills. The 2013 map says otherwise. You've been shifting boundaries, fining non-members. The room erupted. Homeowners grabbing maps. Maria stood. You fined my shrubs $300, my yard's Lakeview. Bill roared. My car $300 for nothing. Sienna stammered. These are baseless, complex legal matters. Rowan Hale strode in, 60s grizzled. Not baseless. I'm an original investor. That 2013 map's legit. Your covenant's binding. Sienna. You tried. Grabbing my lot in 2015 failed. Kevin cleared his throat. Voice shaky. I checked county records. Canyon's right. The pool covenant's valid. Reaffirmed 2020. We signed it. Sienna homeowners. Surged questions flying. You're fining non-HOA folks. What's this boundary shift? Sienna's gavel fell, her blazer sagging. This is a smear campaign, I grinned. Then why'd you try erasing a 2015 boundary dispute? County records show your filing, shady withdrawn. Her eyes widened. A flicker of fear. Janet raised her phone. Live streaming to neighbors. 500 views. This is our HOA. The meeting derailed. Sienna's keycard plan tabled. She stormed out, snarling. This isn't over. Thorne. Kevin lingered, whispering. Meet me later, Creek Trail. I've got something outside. Maria hugged me. My yard's safe. Canyon. Bill nodded. She's done. Next morning, Janet called. Voice electric. Check your email. An anonymous whistleblower sent HOA financials to everyone. Sienna's been funneling funds. My phone lit up. Kevin's email sent at 3 a.m., exposing Sienna's payouts to her brother-in-law's firm. Her 10-year-old failure was tied to my house, and Kevin's bomb was live. I stood by my mailbox, maps in hand. Pool pass gleaming. Sienna's empire was crumbling, but her next swing was coming, and I was ready to dive. Y'all. Sienna's HOA throne's burning, and we're not done. Smash that. Like, if you fought a Karen's scam, drop your city in the comments where you at. Let's see. This fire spread. Sienna Ren's HOA meeting meltdown, her blonde bob quivering as Kevin Vale's email exposed her financial scams, was a poolside cannonball to her reign. That $750 fine for my disruptive behavior was mulch next to my 2013 covenant, and Sunny Creek's falsified boundary maps now at 1,000 live stream views. Thanks to Janet Patel, I stood in my Lakeview Estates yard, wildflower beds blooming, the Sunny Creek pool, sparkling a block away. Sienna's lawsuit trespassing property damage hit my mailbox like a bad sunburn, but Canyon Thorns faced bigger weeds. Her 10-year-old secret tied to my house was about to drown her in court, and Lakeview was ready to swim free. Lyra. Quinn burst into my kitchen at dawn, her lawyer, suit sharp. Canyon Sienna's lawsuit's a gift, she said, laptop glowing. She's suing as acting president, despite her suspension. We're countersuing harassment fraud and her 2015 property grab. Lyra had Rowan Hale's 2015 county records. Sienna's forged filing to steal a 15-foot strip of my backyard, spiked by Rowan's fight. I grinned, tossing a coffee pod. Suing me, with her signature on my pool covenant. Better. Lyra said, eyes gleaming. Kevin's email, $60,000, to her brother-in-law's firm, disguised as landscaping. We've got her 2015 fraud and ongoing cover-up. Court's our kill shot. Janet called. Voice Electric Sienna's unraveling homeowners want an emergency audit. Maria's rallying her block. Maria's $300 shrub fine. Bill's $300 tow all fueled the fire. Rowan met us at my porch, grizzled. 60s. Sienna tried buying my house in Share 13. He growled. When I refused, she forged that boundary. Filing County caught it. Her cousin's husband, Jeremy Watts, fast-tracked it. She got off, but I forced the pool covenant as penance. That covenant, my pool pass, was her shame. The courthouse was a Circus 20 Sunny Creek residents packed in some, nodding at me, others glaring. Sienna strutted in pastel blazer crisp blonde bob perfect. Her lawyer Martin Reynolds, a stern suit. Judge Eleanor Bradshaw. 60s no-nonsense eyed the room like a hawk. Reynolds spun a tale. I was a belligerent outsider, trespassing, disrupting Sunny Creek's peace, demanding an injunction and damages. Lyra stood, voice steel. Your Honor, Mr. Thorne has legal pool rights, 2013 covenant, signed by Miss Ren. She flashed the document, Officer Asher's report, and my maps. Sunny Creek's 2024 map falsely claims Lakeview land, my client's backyard, Maria Lopez's bill, Carter's. This is fraud, rooted in Ms. Ren's 2015 attempt to forge a boundary adjustment on this same property. Sienna's face drained her bob, trembling. Lyra dropped the bomb. County records show Mrs. Ren falsified documents to steal a 15-foot strip of Rowan Hale's lot, aided by Jeremy Watts. When caught, she secured pool access for Mr. Hale's property to avoid charges. She's since erased records to hide it. Gasps rippled homeowners, whispering. Janet's live stream hit 2,000 views. Maria waived her fine. Bill his tow receipt. Judge Bradshaw removed her glasses, staring at Sienna. Ms. Ren responded to these fraud allegations. Sienna cornered, stammered. Those were resolved years ago. Irrelevant. Bradshaw's voice cut like glass. They're relevant. Your pool covenant born of that fraud grants Mr. Thorne rights. You've denied. Your lawsuit's a vendetta. Lyra sealed it. Kevin Vale's email, $60,000, to Ms. Ren's brother-in-law's firm, mislabeled as community funds. She's covered her 2015 fraud for a decade. Sienna lunged for her lawyer, whispering frantically. Bradshaw dismissed the HOA's suit, granted our countersuit legal fees, $5,000 for harassment, and referred Sienna's fraud to the DA for ongoing misrepresentation. Outside homeowners swarmed me, some apologizing, others shaking my hand. Kevin, eyes clear, whispered, I sent the email. She knows. Sienna stood alone on the courthouse steps, her blazer sagging, fear replacing her smirk. A month later, a Sunny Creek letter arrived. Kevin, interim president, apologized, cementing my pool rights. Plaque by the pool read, shared for Sunny Creek and Lakeview Neighbors United. My barbecue hosted Janet, Maria, Rowan, Kevin. Both communities mingling, string lights glowing. Officer Asher stopped by. Chuckling, best HOA takedown in 15 years. Thorne. Sienna sold her house, fled, her fraud case pending. Lakeview and Sunny Creek swapped stories, boundaries, redrawn, real. My pool pass permanent gleamed at the reopened pool, kids splashing across line. Sunny Creek's still split some. Miss Sienna's iron fist. But my house, once her failure, stands proud. Wildflowers free. I swim at dusk. Pool. Clear community. Whole. Sienna's empire. Chlorine. Dust yawl. Sienna's HOA. Crowns sunk. My pool's ours. Rowan's covenant. Kevin's guts and a pesky fine flipped it. Maria's yard's hers. Lakeview learned. Don't mess with a landscaper's rights. It's messy, some grumble, but the water's shared. Smash that like drop your city face to Sienna. Got a pool tale. I'm all eyes. Share from Cali or Cairo. Let's see this wave crash.